Hello, this is the trade site U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for the week beginning Monday, the 6th of January, 2014. Happy New Year, and ending on Friday the 10th. We do have a full week ahead of us finally after a couple of shortened and awkward weeks over the holidays with Christmas and New Year's on Wednesdays. But now we can get back to work. So here's a look at the S&P daily chart, and you can see this is with the Comer on it at the moment. I'm also going to switch it to the Seeker, but you'll notice we did complete a new 9-bar up phase here on Friday. Actually on Tuesday. Here's a look at it with the Seeker. Now you'll notice we had gotten that 13 sell signal back in after the first week of December. We kind of started to roll over, and then the Fed made their announcement that they were going to end the tapering, or at least taper the reinvestment. And so we did shoot higher that day, and we've been heading up ever since. And again, as we pointed out, when you've had an up year in the market and a lot of stocks that are up solidly for the year, nobody wants to sell in the last month or so of the year because they lock in a big tax gain that has to be paid in April when they can delay that a full year by waiting until January to sell. So we got exactly that. We didn't sell off at all. You can see basically the last 9 days of the year almost straight up broke the risk line on the 13 and negated that. And so now we have a new 9-bar setup, but we're just beginning the Seeker count. We only got the one there. And we did start down here on the first 2 days of January. Now, there is a kind of a general rule that you see, which is that if there's a clear direction, very clear direction for the first 3 days of January. So at this point, if we go down again on Monday, which will be the 3rd day of January, typically the rest of January goes the other way up to the first 3 days. Now, if we don't head back down on Friday, instead we head up, then that's negated. So we would end up with a situation where that wouldn't matter for January. But if we do head down on on Monday, then the rest of the month of January could be to the upside. So here's a look at the NDX, the NASDAQ 100 index. And it is kind of in the same boat, of course, closed at the highs at the end of the year and had 2 days down to start out January. This was a little more negative than the S&P. So again, a downward day on Monday would definitely give us 3 days down to start the year, and that usually leads to, again, strangely, more upward movement. So we'll see what happens. Here's a look at the SOX, the S&P, the semiconductor index. Not doing anything different than the rest of the market. And let's take a quick look also at crude oil, which dropped a lot this week down to the 94 range from 100. It's a pretty big drop in a week. And also, if we look real quick at gold, you'll see that there's approaching the lows on gold. That's a nice inverted cup and potential handle forming here that could lead to a big breakdown in gold. Take a quick look here at what we saw in the futures this week. Again, it was a short week, so this is 5-minute bars on the ES. There was no trading on Wednesday, so you've got Monday was flat. Tuesday we did sort of gap up a little bit, didn't quite fill the gap, and then surged to roll out to close out the year. First day of the new year was Thursday after the holiday, gapped down and kept going lower. You can see the 13 buy signal was the low there. And then on Friday, we were kind of small gap up and back and forth. People were not back yet. Volume was still light, 1.5 billion. So we're going to be looking at this week to really start the year. Kind of important what we see on Monday, and we'll go from there. Here's a quick look at the economic data due out this week. Monday, we got factory orders and ISM services. Tuesday, trade balance. Wednesday, MBA mortgage index, ADP employment change, crude oil inventories, and the Fed minutes from the last meeting, consumer credit in the afternoon. Thursday, initial and continuing jobless claims with the natty gas data. And again, that trade balance will be the big one for the week on Tuesday. But then again, Friday, we've also got the non-farm payroll and unemployment rate. And that's a big one as well. So the biggest data for us, Tuesday and Friday of this week. But again, important to see what we get on Monday. And we should start to see some volume come back in and get back to normal trading after a couple weeks of holiday doldrums and end-of-year activity. So hope everybody has a great 2014, and we will see you in the trading lab.